So today we are talking about, is Amazon FBA worth it in 2022? I think the answer to this depends on a couple of things. You have to be very clear on the reasons you're starting this. So let's unpack this a little bit today in today's episode. Let's get started. Hi guys, this is Farah. I can help you start a private label business on Amazon so you can increase your income with confidence and build a life that you dream of. If you're interested in working with me, please email me at hello@farahfinds.com and I will get back to you and help you get started. This channel is dedicated to helping you start a business online. I share my advice based on being an Amazon seller for the past decade, and if you're interested in that, then please do hit subscribe so you don't miss out the new videos when they come out. Is Amazon FBA worth it in 2022? I think only you as a person considering this option can answer this for yourself. There's a couple of things you should consider, and then based on that you should evaluate that, okay, is this a good option for me or not? So as with anything, when we are thinking about starting a business, we think about, okay, am I going to make money in this? Because that's the reason you start a business. You want an additional income, or you want to invest, or something like that. So I think in terms of Amazon FBA, you do need to answer that question, but you do also need to think a little bit outside of that conversation too, because as far as online business ideas are concerned, Amazon FBA is probably one of the pricier options because there is a high startup cost involved. It's a product business, so you need to buy product inventory. You're choosing to do Amazon FBA, which is a premium service by Amazon, where they pick, pack, and ship the product for you. So in the early days of Amazon FBA being promoted on YouTube, I think it was just being promoted like something you can pick anything from Alibaba and like just send it to Amazon and they do everything for you. And people came in with this expectation that I don't have to do anything, which is very untrue. So if you understand that now in 2022, that I am going to start Amazon FBA business and I do have to do a lot of work in this, it's not as hands-off as you might want to believe that it is. It's actually a very hands-on business. You need to do quite a few things behind the scenes. So considering the startup cost, I think among all the options that are available to start an online business, I think Amazon FBA is one of the pricier options. Does it fit your circumstance? You have to answer, do you have the budget to start? I usually recommend to start with a minimum 5 to 10K. You should have in order to set up your first few products. And so this is a question only you can answer for yourself. Is it worth it for me? Do I have that investment budget? Okay. And then we can obviously sort of relate that, bring that question to the other factor, which is like, am I going to make some money? The thing is, you probably won't make so much money in your first year or the second year because you would be in the setup phase. You would probably make some mistakes, even if you have a mentor, even if you hire all the help in the world. And when it's your own money on the line, you are actually more frugal. Other people are not frugal with your money, but you would be. So I would advise that, you start small. And then obviously, if you are considering this business option for the long run, at some point you would be able to choose, based on those learnings, you would be able to choose a better product. You cannot choose the perfect product on your first time or even your second or third time, because you would be making improved decisions by your third or fourth product, but not your first time. So straight off the bat, no, you would be in the startup phase and you won't be able to make money straight off the bat. So what I would advise is not use your investment budget or 1 or 2 products and not heavily invest in them, but actually try a smaller batch, learn from it, improve the product. And interest in product business is crucial in this business. Like it's what makes the secret sauce of success. If you are not interested in the product you are planning to sell, how are you going to improve it? You're going to ask other people are going to give you random opinions which won't make sense for your business. Like, if you're not interested in your own business, like, how are you thinking of making money in it? Interest in developing products is crucial in this business. So do think about it. Do you have that tendency to look at products and say, this could be improved? Or, are you always looking at trends? Or are you an early adopter of trends or products? Are you like first to buy? Things like this. Think about it. Because if you're somebody like that, you would enjoy doing Amazon FBA. It's not for everybody. For some people, it would be a great option. Like, think about it. When COVID started in 2020, early 2020, we saw a lot of content on YouTube which was around Amazon automation or done for you services, and a lot of people did invest in those programs, but we haven't seen that many results videos from those programs. And so those people who invested in them are like, in that process, and it's been over 1.5 years since all of that started. And so it's not easy, and especially as an investor in that kind of thing, where you are paying somebody else to build the business for you, you haven't even learned anything. And practically, you might have been given presentations, but you have just learned from presentation, not from actually executing on that advice or doing things yourself. So it's difficult. Obviously, those people are going to say, well, this is a scam. We didn't make any money. It's been 2 years. I haven't seen any return on our investment. So it depends who you ask. I think that's why it's very important to be clear for yourself, for your own reason why you want to start this business, and what are the resources you're bringing to the table. That would make a huge difference, in terms of like, are you going to make money or are you not going to make any money? You have to answer this for yourself. How are you starting? What are you bringing to the table? Another aspect or problem I see when people complain about Amazon FBA is, or any other type of Amazon business, is they lose patience with the process, because either the costs are too high or they're struggling to make any money or any cash flow in. They see bills going out and they're not being able to control their costs. So they start questioning that, is it worth it, all of it? The thing to understand here is, like, in your first year or first few months, you would be getting the hang of things. You will be learning the processes, and then you would start choosing better products. Okay, so your first product or the second one might not be as successful as you thought it would be. And so instead of going forward in the learning, some people just leave and they say, well, that's not for me. And that's okay. If some people want to decide that, it's okay to cut your losses and leave. But then I would in return ask this question, like, what is easy out there? Let me know in the comments below, because I would like to try that too. And I believe nothing is easy. I have tried a few different business models, and among all of them, for my circumstances, my resources, what's worked best for me is Amazon. Okay, so for yourself, I think you have to understand timing is key in this. You won't see big returns in early days or in even the first year. I think if you did see a big return in your first year, you're the anomaly. You're not the norm. Okay, you're the exception to the rule. Most people would be struggling in their first year, and the way you can go forward and not quit is actually do things yourself, learn, improve, and cut out unnecessary things, because this is the way of the business. In any business, that's how it works. You create sales, and then you have to reduce the costs of doing or creating those sales and improve your processes, and then repeat what was working so you can scale. And in terms of Amazon, that means more products that can add to your revenue. I would tell you from my perspective that I've made my income from Amazon, and for during COVID, we had to reduce our expenses, reduce staff, but we optimized as we went along because we were managing everything ourselves. And so this is the skill that you need to develop over time. You cannot purchase this in a course. You have to learn to optimize, and the more you practice, the better you'll get, the better return you will get on your investment. With learning, with optimizing processes, with improving your product and all the rest of it, then it contributes to making money on Amazon. So if you ask me, Farah, are you making money on Amazon? I would say I'm not making a lot of profit for the past 2 years because I am in the fashion category. My profits are very, very low. But am I paying all my bills? Yes. Do I owe money to anybody? Not really. And because I do business with my own money, I don't borrow from banks or I don't use lending services. Okay. So I don't owe money to anybody. I'm paying all my own bills, and, I'm able to live off this business. So if you ask me, I'm making crazy returns. No, I'm not. But I'm able to afford my living from this business. So you have to answer this question for yourself. Like, in a few years' time, do you want to leave your 9 to 5 and switch to a business where you can work from home, where you have flexible working, you can increase your income as much as you want by introducing more products, and nobody can fire you from your business. Amazon can't just shut down your account if you're following all the rules. So it's something you need to decide for yourself, that do I want to start Amazon FBA for the long term, or am I starting this business because there's some people around me doing it, or there's a trend, or I've heard or there's a lot of money in this. Why are you doing it? You've got to answer this question for yourself. Another thing to think about is that, a lot of the time, people lose interest in the business. They're not as committed. They're not putting as much time in because, a lot of the times money is the motivator. When you see money coming in, you're willing to put in more time. But when you're in the build-up phase, that's why, like, if you have an interest in your business, it would carry you through that difficult time where, you're not making much money, but you're trying to make things work. And with the Amazon PPC, things get a little complicated behind the scenes. It's not as simple as just putting a product on Amazon and it will start selling. You have to optimize your campaigns and all the rest of the drama that comes with managing Amazon PPC campaigns. They change the cost of selling on Amazon month to month. So, it's a skill to improve as you go along. And that's why there's such a huge demand for Amazon FBA mentors, because, behind the scenes is complicated. People do need help with learning and improving their processes. Another huge factor that is affecting the success of smaller new Amazon FBA sellers is the presence of Amazon aggregators, because these people, these companies, the aggregators, they're coming in with huge PPC spending budgets. So they're competing with sellers and outspending them, and people are purchasing more of their products instead of going to smaller businesses. And that's where, like, I think a lot of competition is changing in the market, because there are not just in earlier years there used to be like the threat of Amazon Basics copying your product, or just Amazon private label brands, Amazon's own brands. Now we're not just competing with that or just the Chinese sellers, it's the aggregators too. So there's 3 huge groups of competitors that are in the marketplace now, which is squeezing the margins of the other smaller sellers, the small family-run businesses. And so it's the market's changing and it's getting competitive, but in a different way. You cannot outspend a huge aggregator who has the capital from, they have money to burn basically. So in that way, like, that's why the return on your investment, the time you're spending in the market, and not seeing return, it's becoming more and more difficult, because smaller sellers, they work with their own money and they want to see an income, they want to see a return, and when they struggle to see it, they quit. And, I don't blame them, but that's why, like, having an interest in the product and and doing things yourself and learning the process, improving the process, because those big competitors, the aggregators, Amazon, and the Chinese manufacturers sitting and fulfilling from, using Amazon FBA from China, they cannot, replicate the fieriness of a small seller who has a lot to lose and who is interested and who is willing to compete. There is that angle of entrepreneurship, the startup energy that comes from, those small sellers, that, those people who bring that to the table. They differentiate themselves and their business and their products. So, depending on what you bring to the table, this will also help you understand that, okay, this is the market I'm entering, and is it worth it for me? Am I in this for the long run? And eventually you would be able to decide for yourself, is it worth it? Should I go for this business model or not? So you can say, Farah, well, it sounds complicated, it's not easy, what am I supposed to do? Well, look at the alternatives. Are there any easy alternatives out there? You could become a coach. You could have a Instagram-based business, and most of the alternatives require you to be present on social media, post on YouTube, post on Insta or whatever, and none of that is easy, and it takes a toll on your mental health too. So I don't believe there is any easy alternatives out there. I think the deciding factor is, again, your interest, why you're doing it, and to cut through any saturated, busy space is to do something with intention, okay? Something that provides value, something that, people are looking for. And you come up with the solution at the right point, at the right time, at the right price, you will get business, okay? So I don't think there are any easy alternatives out there. Please let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think are other easy money-making alternatives out there? Don't say crypto, because that is just simply pump and dump scheme. It's not mainstream as yet. When you are somebody who has small budget, like even 5 to 10k is a very small budget to start an Amazon FBA business. That can just be eaten up in like your 1 or 2 shipments. And if you know one, well, good for you, but that's what my experience has been. And as I said, I share my advice based on my experience. So in my experience, Amazon FBA has been a real income creator for me and my family. So to bring it all together and help you answer this question, I think there are a couple of things you need to answer for yourself. Some of the major factors I've mentioned, but I would call this like like a checklist. If you check those boxes, then this might be a good idea for you, depending on what you bring, what circumstances, what resources you're bringing to the table, and interest. Okay, 3 things: the resources, circumstances, and your interest. Are you bringing these 3 things to the table? And then go through these check boxes. I've got these out on my notes, so I will tell them. So one of the things is, if you want to switch from your 9-to-5 job in the near future and you want to start a business, and number 2 is like, if you want to work from home, you would be able to do that in Amazon FBA business model, where actually you would be able to work from anywhere if you're doing FBA. One is, do you have the saving or the investment budget? How are you planning to, have that startup fund? Are you gonna borrow the money? You need to figure that out, okay? And you minimum need 5 to 10k for private label to start the business, okay? For your first few months, this is the budget you're gonna need to spend upfront before you see any returns. Very important skill: are you good with spreadsheets? Are you like good with tech and things like that? You know your way around the computer? If that's a yes, this is the perfect business model for you. You never have to show your face anywhere. You just work your magic in the spreadsheets and behind the scenes in the Seller Central, and that's all. Next thing is you love products. You've got to have a love for products, because I'm telling you, there are so many people in this business who are just coming in, attracted by somebody else is doing really well, so I've got to try it too. But they have no idea how to improve a product, how to even go about creating a product. They have no interest in, you know, developing the brand. They just want to, you know, stack it high, sell it cheap, that kind of thing. And that kind of thing is getting out of style on Amazon. That's why the profit margins of such sellers are getting very, very low. And so it's something to think about. You have to bring an interest in product business with your intention to start this business. An interest in developing products and spotting trends and things like that is crucial for success in this business model. I'm not saying that you need to be an inventor or anything like that, but you know, a good product pops out to you. If that's something you have experienced, then this business model would be a good idea for you to sell products to millions of Amazon's shoppers and bring something great to the market. It's something that you should really consider because, as I said, it's a high startup investment online business idea. Amazon FBA is not cheap to start. So if you do want to start, think about these things and, you know, don't do it for the quick money, because in your first year or even the second year, you're going to struggle a little bit. Depending on how you go about starting the business. Do you hire a lot of people, VAs, and you know, do you outsource a lot of things straight off the bat? Then you might struggle a little bit with you know, recouping that money, because things on Amazon are, you know, competitive. As I've told you, there are big players in the marketplace now. So do it for yourself. That's the best way to do it. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for quick money. Stay in the business for the long run. Those are the people who are going to really see big returns. And you know, if you want to exit in 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years, then you will have a chance to you know, sell to a manufacturer that's based out of China, or you know, an aggregator. If you think about it, the presence of Amazon aggregators, which are backed by, you know, venture capitalists. So this is like your quickest way to create a startup and flip it to a venture capital firm. And it's that startup dream. And you have an online version of that now. You don't have to create an app or, you know, something really, really like, you know, go do pitches in Silicon Valley. You have an online version of that, and Amazon FBA takes that box, because those people are buying up a lot in the space, and you know, so there is chances of exit from this business if you don't like it. But a year or two is not enough to see good returns on Amazon. So that's my 2 pence. I hope this video helped you guys, provided you value. Please do give it a like so more people can see it and really understand what this business is all about, and you know, they can make informed decisions. And I think that's about it from me today. I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Regularly make videos about Amazon. If you guys enjoyed this one, you can watch this one or this one.